Welcome to you all to this opening talk for the exhibition Konstantin Grcic Panorama. I would like to welcome with me on stage, to my left side, Jan Boelen. He's the director of Z33, House for Contemporary Art in Hasselt in Belgium. They co-produced the exhibition with us. They were an important partner for the curating of the exhibition, and the exhibition will also be shown in Hasselt next spring. And to my right side, there's the man about whom the exhibition is, who invented the biggest part of the exhibition, and I'm really happy that we'll have the chance tonight to discuss with him some aspects of his work and of the exhibition. Konstantin Grcic, very warm welcome. Thank you. Thank you. The idea of the show goes back until at least 3 years ago. We had some exchanges, some discussions that we would like to do a project together one day, and I think it was in early 2011 when then we really attacked the idea. We started to think about approaches to an exhibition that we could do here in the Vitra Design Museum, that could also travel, that could say something about Konstantin's work. Maybe let's just jump into the first image, Konstantin.
Well, first of all, I have to locate this place. This is in Munich, where I live and work since more than 20 years now. This particular space I've been in for more than 10 years, and when I moved in there, the office was still small, very small, myself plus one assistant, and by now we are 6. This size of the studio has been quite constant over the last 10 years, I think. The office as a place, as the place of origin of my work, matters a lot. It's something important to me. I don't seem to be conditioned to work as we all think today's technologies makes us able to work on planes, on trains, in the car. I really need the place as a focus, as an environment to inspire the work, to enable the concentration for the work, to have things around me that matter, references, material for hands-on activity, and also, of course, my assistants. My real wish was becoming a boat builder, but I never lived anywhere near water. My very first practice or apprenticeship, no, it wasn't an apprenticeship, it was an internship, was restoring old furniture, working for a furniture restorer. And I think this was really my discovery of furniture. The repair, the restoration of old furniture was a discovery of my passion for furniture. I was drawn to the machinery, the idea of repetition, of using machinery to make things in a kind of automated way, in a serial way, and I think that was industrial design. And then I applied to the Royal College to an industrial design course.
And industrial design, that means also mass production. So, but the world is changing. The world is also commenting that kind of producing, overproducing, overconsuming. How is your relation with that kind of production? Because your studio is really called Konstantin Grcic Industrial Design. Is that notion different now, or than in the beginning, or is it still the same?
The notion is very different now, and my idea back then, when I really started my office, as I told you, just me, myself, and I, I called myself industrial designer, and I didn't even have industrial clients. But I wanted to, that was my message, saying this is what I want to do. The notion of industrial design has changed completely. I guess industry is changing, it has changed. Well, I should say my idea of industrial design back then was a kind of an ideal. And you said it, you said that word mass production. I had this idea of mass production, of designing something that would then be mass produced.
I think this one, in the context of industrial design, is interesting because it's an industrial product, but at the same time, Konstantin, you conceived it as a kind of ready-made, no? It looks like a found lamp from a construction site, and I think an important reference for this design were lamps that you saw in Japan. So it's not only the changes in manufacturing processes, but also things that you see on the street or that you find somewhere and that you collect that inspire such works.
Well, this lamp, and it dates back to 1999, if I'm correct, was one of those kind of key products in my early career. Key, not necessarily because, or a kind of commercial success is part of it, but key as in realizing that a product that was very kind of a product idea that was very close to me, a product that really had my signature in it, not even in a formal way, but in the idea way. Let's say this is a chair, yes, but what really mattered was thinking about a whole situation. It wasn't about just doing another chair. It was the idea of creating an object for a situation. For me at the time, it was clearly an outdoor chair, and even a chair that would be out in the urban space, so not even just in your garden or terrace, but out in public, where the chair belongs to everyone. And it's and how can we make a piece of furniture that lives up to this, to the use, to the reading also of the whole, the background of a piece of furniture against a building, and I mean the outside of a building, not the building, the interior space, a chair that reads against nature, against traffic moving, that has to live up to dirt, to vandalism, to being abused as much as used. All of that was part of the chair and why the chair became what it is. But I like the idea of the kind of these other projects outside of chairs, of course. And I think
this one, for example.
That one. Okay, this one too.
It's one of the 50%.
Well, these things, they are the kind of beautiful little projects that come out of nowhere, out of the blue. There comes an email inviting you to design an architecture for dogs, and it's a project for a Japanese. It's a Japanese project, and it was an invitation of several architects that were asked to design projects for dogs, but each architect was given a dog, and apparently the choice of the dog had a relationship to the architect. I was given the poodle. I don't know.
Well, you said it's the most intelligent dog apparently which exists.
Well, that's something
how
that
you are telling the story normally.
That's something that luckily we were able to find out, that actually the poodle is considered one of the intelligent dogs, and this is the explanation of this project. The poodle apparently is the only dog that recognizes its own image in a mirror. No other dog does that. By heart, I am still a chair designer. I love designing chairs, and in order to protect this love, I do a lot of other things so that I don't overdo the kind of chair thing. It kind of distracts me from chairs in order to come back to chairs.
So also chairs. Exhibitions?
And in order to understand chairs in a better way, to find other perspectives and other experiences. And the chair is so great because it does include and incorporate so many different things. It's not just the kind of support or comfort thing, and it's so many other things. The whole, the history of design can be told in chairs, but not because of chairs as supports, but chairs as objects that are part of our culture, of our identification, of who we are. The idea of creating scenography, room sets, stages, installations was, let's say, a risky idea. Risky because it's not something I normally do. I'm not an expert in that. It's something that interested me, and I think that was really clearly the kind of the trigger as well. This kind of, okay, let's go on a real journey. Let's go somewhere where we don't know where that is and how we get there. And part of this journey became also inviting other people into the project. The point where the ideas about the exhibition found the hinge. It was the word future. It was Mateo and my discussions at the very beginning in a very loose, informal way. Suddenly there was this idea, well, let's do this exhibition, and it's not a retrospective, but it's an exhibition that looks into the future. And that word, in a way, was a trigger in a positive way. It kind of opened up possibilities.